Well, good morning, and peace with time just marches on. Born to die, but it is how we go out that can make and does make a difference to others that are on the way. Newborns. How do you want their lives to be filled and lived in every day? Perhaps raped by a Mohammed regime? Or to live every day in our Creator's liberties, freedoms? And liberties, freedoms were under our Creator's loving grace and protection. We only have to love one another. Or locked in communism, much like an old Salem of old, where the witch hunters and controllers of were in truth witches themselves, giving control. I gotta go stop that music. It's a commercial. Do you notice how disrupting that is back over there? This is what I've been talking about, is it distracting. And that's what's in those commercials. I'm gonna go change the music back, and I'm gonna come back and finish reading this. I'll start over from the beginning. But some kind of something other than, and really don't need anything behind, but I'll be right back.
Julian's our new drive guard tires, the next generation of run flat technology.
Off with you, damn spot. Be gone. The beginning was a little different. Okay. I don't think I liked it much better. And they can create words with the music, with the instruments, repetitive. And what, if you try to zoom into it, my hearing's not the best, I need hearing, all that kind of junk, so I'm hearing other stuff sometimes. With your clear hearing, with the hearing blocked a little bit, once there's something else being said that, your clear hearing just doesn't pick up on because it's being pounded in there. Hey, anything's possible in this technology today. Born to die. But it is how we go out that can and does make a difference to others that are on the way. Newborns, I'm talking about. How do you want their lives to be filled and lived in every day? Perhaps, your babies are raped by a Mohammed regime. Does that sound like you're liking? You like that? Raping your babies? Or to live life every day in our Creator's liberty freedoms. And liberty freedoms were under our Creator's loving grace and protection. We only have to love one another. There's those rules they've made up. There's 10 rules, but, you believe in this God. There's no other one before Him, because this is the one that creates the souls that's in us. Why would you want to think of something else? Come on. There is nothing else. And to love one another. Because we're all created in His image, however you look. That's all there is to do. You don't have, there's other things, there's nothing there. Think about it. Love one another. Or you want to be locked in communism. It's much like in Salem of old, where the witch hunters and controllers of were in truth witches themselves, giving control to themselves over the laws to kill the ones who could and would expose them to the meek and mild beings, God's creatures made in His image. Or another mistake. Now I may say a bad word here, but it just goes along with that name. That's such a yuck. Islamic sick fucks. That's what they are. Sick because sex with animals is okay. Raping young girls, even babies, is okay. And killing your wives, at least 4 can be had at one time, is okay. And stoning people to death. You sit there with a person buried up to their shoulders in the dirt and tossing regulated stones now. They can't be too small, they can't be too large. We don't want to take them out with one whack. We want to make these bitches suffer. So they got to be regulated stone and stone them to death. This is okay. You want to sit around a crowd and do that to someone? What would be creating and making that thing movement in you to do something like that? Do you think that's something from a creating source that made this life, this living? I think not at all. I think that was from something that was cast down here because he couldn't get along because he was a dickhead. You know, this is about as sick as one can get. When you fall for and into the evils of Muhammad's bottomless funnel pit. It's a funnel. Islam. Muhammad, prophet. He was a prophet for money. It's a pit. It's a funnel. It's a funnel. You get into a funnel that you can't get out of because you're committed because of what you went in for. You wanted to have sex with animals. You wanted to kill newborn babies and raping them, you know. You wanted to murder women because, you know, they're a little more smarter than you. And this pit, this funnel I'm talking about, this bottomless one, happens to be the one that is mentioned for our protection in the Bible. This also goes towards the current regime that is being set up in America today by our elected officials and going along with Obama's program from Islam. Because all Congress and senators are all cowards of heart, crushed of slime, not deserving the breath given by our Creator, for precious is life given by His will on His earth. They will not be allowed the liberty, freedoms under the grace of God Jehovah. And I've looked around, and the names of God, and the Yad-Heh and Jehovah seems to be the ones that stand out the most. And a little bit on that in a minute. In any matter that concerns God's people, they will not be allowed. In any matter that concerns God's people. The fact today is Obama is setting up the United States government without liberty freedoms in order to kill freedom, which is a centuries-old wish since the beginnings of Islam, sick camel hicks. That's a fact. Now the name that we're speaking of, and we have some old scribes here, eons ago, and we're rewriting the words, these holy words in the Bible. And this, you know, who knows where their thoughts are all about and what they think, you know. But then one day this one's writing here, and he reads this part, and it says, and he's thinking about what he just read, and he goes, wow. I mean, it's like a little light popped off in his head, you know, but who popped that little light off in his head? Could that have been something good? Or that have been something selfish? Then he picks it up and he takes it into the master, and he goes, I don't know if you've ever seen this before or read this part, but And this guy's supposed to have done some of this rewriting stuff himself, you know. So he kind of blew over it, like, big deal. But he's pointing out, like, you know, all they have to do, who are you? What do you do here, you know? You've been here for this how many years, rewritten how many books, you know, you're the master here of this whole place. And here I come here writing these books, and I'm helping out to pass this word, And I just noticed this statement in here, this verse. Now, you know, I love what I'm doing. You love what we're doing. We love what we're devoted here. We are bound and devoted to this motion because of our love. So we are entitled. This gives us entitlement. And this gives us this statement here. All you have to do is say his name in that time, and you will be saved. The heathens out there, if they ever get a hold of this and they read that and they understand, all they have to do is say his name and they will be saved. After all the work we've done and dedication that we put into, they just pop a name up and bam, they're just, you know, they're right there with us. What can we do about this? You know, I'm thinking, you know, we don't want to take. Okay. Oh, you're saying what? Don't take the name out. We can't take the name. We can't take the name out. But well, we're going to put something in place of it because it was there. I mean, we can't. Initials. Okay, initials. All right. So I'm thinking like, well, you know, pretty soon people are going to be driving vehicles that are limited editions. You know, so we're going to put LTD up there. So when I see LTD. You know, because of what I know, because of what we all know, this is limited edition. So now when we see these 4 letters up there, we know what his name is. But if you don't get with the language or, you know, you don't get to know this name. And even though, hey, you could be deserving, you know, you're not going to get the name anyway. Too bad, because we know it, we kept it out. It's our secret. Too bad for you. So what kind of people were those, you know? So, and all around this Yad-Heh and Jehovah, that's his name. And if you're deserving, and if you're his people, and you're loving, and you've given up the sins, you've given yourself over for the Christ that died for us, to forgive all these things, to let them all go, it's true, it can really happen. It just goes. And then you're free. It's grace. We live in grace now. This is, the world can be Graceland. The earth, Graceland. Wow, is that a beautiful thing? But I see a lot of things around that are avoiding this subject and not wanting it because they're so greedy and they like being rich and controlling. They're so evil. You know, it's time we have to do something about this, you know. And we have to show that we're aware of it and we want to do something and we're going to do something about it. And their ways need to be changed. I mean, that's a fact. And that's beauty. And that's keeping God's grace and His freedoms. Peace out, people. Let's do this. Wow, look at the drums in the back. Perfect, huh? The drums are beating. Time to do this. Have a thought. Write it out. Think it up. It's what I've done here. Write them out. See what we can do. Blend these together. And we'll overcome. We always have. And I want my grandchildren growing up in a good place. In Graceland. Soul's creator, the creator of souls, is Graceland. I'm gonna go meditate and think of this beauty and feel it, because I can, and we all can.